How's life treating you as a dad?
Yeah, it's been good. Avery's awesome, but not getting too much sleep at the moment, so training's been tough the last few days.
I mean, is it a huge change to get used to?
Oh, mainly just the sleep, interrupted sleep all night, but other than that, she's a happy, healthy baby, and I'm pumped. Elisa was awesome during the whole process, and I've learnt a little bit myself, so yeah, it's awesome.
What have you learnt?
I've learned how to change a nappy, and that wasn't too enjoyable the first time, but I've got used to that. And just the feeling of becoming a dad, it's unreal. Everyone said it was unreal, and now I've realised it's awesome.
What kind of advice have you got from a few of the guys with fathers?
Hold off until pre-season's over, because that's the toughest time of the year. So try hold off until probably the end of the season before you have a kid.
How is pre-season going?
Yeah, it's been solid, nice and warm for us. But the boys came back in ripping nick, and we've pretty much all reached our targets as far as 3Ks and time trials go. So and skin folds. So yeah, the boys are looking good.
Now looking back a little bit, how are you guys sort of dealing with the grand final? Have you got together and reviewed it again, or is it just the once and then it's out of the mind?
No, well, we reviewed it a few days after the grand final, and I've said it before, we can't dwell on it now. What's done's done. If we dwell on it now, we can't do anything about the future. So we're working towards 2014, and that's what we've got our sights set on.
Personally, how did you feel about your performance
in the grand final?
Yeah.
Oh, my performance is average at best. So, but that, like I said, I can't control that now. That's what's done is done, and I'll look forward to next year as well. Do
you brace yourself for a bit of stick? Because there were a fair few other AFL players sort of jumping on Twitter and saying that they'd have good ammunition if you come up against them next year. Are you sort of prepared for that?
No, I'm preparing for 2014. It's a big season. We got Collingwood round 1, and that's all I'm focused on right now.
How much of a spur is it though, personally? I mean, surely you'd like to prove people wrong and that, have your chance again?
Oh, everyone wants to play in a grand final, win a grand final. I'm definitely one of them, and we've got another chance next year, but so do 17 other clubs. So we're just one of 18 clubs trying to get into a grand final and win one.
Is there a difference in the feeling around the club having just come through a grand final during the pre-season?
Not really. We're a very driven bunch of players, and we know what we want. We want to be a great side, and we need to improve every week, every training session. So this year's another chance to improve on last year.
A couple of the guys have mentioned you guys made a pact to really come back and hit pre-season hard. Do you think you followed through on that so far?
Absolutely. Like I said before, we've all come back. We've reached our goals we set for us before our break, and now we're flat out in training, and we're looking good. We've got to sharpen up on a few little things from last year, and yeah, but 2014 is what we're aiming for.
Is there anyone really tearing it up? Anyone that's jumped ahead?
Matt De Boer's really improved his 3K time trial. He's a real workhorse around the club, and he's dragging everyone else along with him as well. So it's great leadership from him.
Do you sort of accept though that your style of play leaves you open if you're ever having down games for people to get stuck back into you? It's the way that you like to chirp, and sort of that helps you get yourself up, but it also leaves you a bit open.
I don't really understand what the question. What do you mean? What do you mean by that?
You have down games sort of like the grand final. You understand, like you like to chirp, they're going to come back twice as hard.
No, we're out there playing a game of footy. It's not about chirping. So I like to have a few words, and everyone else does as well. A bit of friendly banter doesn't hurt anyone. So, but if what else can I say to that?
Yeah. Do you like that chirp if someone's chirping back at you? Does that rev you up?
Not really, no.
How the boys go on the golf course? How are you going to go today?
As long as I don't fall asleep on the golf course, I'll be all right. But I've been actually practicing a fair bit. My drive's improved. I just got to improve the short game.
Who are the best players in the group?
Oh, Kepler Bradley rates himself. He thinks he goes all right. He plays up here at least once a week, I think. So he's got a bit to prove.
And have you broken up into like midfield forward groups or anything at all yet?
Yeah. That's how we set our weights training around forwards, mids, and backs. So we're all in our designated groups. And
what's Cole Sylvia added to the mix?
Cole's been doing a bit of his own work one-on-one with a couple of the coaches, but he's brought he hasn't trained too much with us. He's working through through some fitness stuff with the coaches, and but obviously he's a great, very skilled player and a great. He'll contribute really good for us.
Has anything changed for you? I mean, you talk about breaking into the groups and stuff. Are you training forward at the moment? Are you looking spend more time midfield next year? And
I'm training as a forward at the moment, and you know, I still work with the midfielders through their tactics and stuff like that. But you know, as far as I'm concerned, I'll be playing as a forward this year.